I'm having a really inspired day. You know, I had a good friend come over. We painted together. We made these really cool pots for our plants. We exchanged some plants. We exchanged some laughs. You know, it was a really nice afternoon, and I've been reading cards today. I've been in the garden today. I've got my fingers covered in, you know, paint, and my shirt covered in paint, and, you know, that's always a good day. But it got me feeling really inspired and wanting to tell y'all about my kind of magical and unique journey to my spirituality, to this world of witchcraft, if you will. And so my mom is a witch. My mom actually met my friend Leah, who was here today, and we all gardened together and stuff when my mom was here last. My mom has been a witch for many, many years, since I was a teenager, long before I was ever interested in it. And you know, one cool thing is when I really started to realize that this is where like the trajectory of my life was going. I was on a trip to Texas, and we were just like having a good time, and I bought this cowboy hat and this walking stick, and I hung out with my mom, and we did some witchy woo stuff, which I've always been, you know, open to. It just wasn't my thing per se, you know. And I came back and I was just joking about like Texas witch, because I came home from Texas and I was just feeling the spirit of that, you know, that calling, really, honestly. You know, when you're on a spiritual journey, and not everyone's looks the same, and that's one of the reasons why I love witchcraft so much, is because you get to choose your own adventure. And I'm a very big fan of that, because I'm an adventurous person. I like to see what's out there for me. So I love witchcraft because it's a choose your own path kind of spirituality. You can believe in gods and goddesses. You cannot believe in any sort of deities. You can be a Christian witch. Like, there's a lot of things that you can do within the magical arts, because really what it really is like just this big... Listen, every time I make an analogy, it's always soup, you know. I love food. What are you going to say? But it's like kind of like this big soup, you know, like all these ingredients of like wisdom that's been passed on over time throughout history. And, you know, you go back to the earliest things, and it's things about nature and things like that, because that's where we started before all these businesses and buildings and all the things. We were people who were living off the land. We were planting our own food. We were looking to the stars for answers, to the sky for answers. And that's where we found the source of a lot of answers, because really when you boil it all down, that's what it all comes back to, is this sort of us and the earth, you know, and all the living creatures that are on it, and the way that we're all connected and intertwined. So I really felt this calling towards witchcraft when I was in Texas, and I came home, you know, joking, Texas witch, Texas witch. I decided to go on a journey and found that there was like this thing that you're supposed to do as a witch, to study for a year and a day. And I love that idea. First of all, a year is not nearly as cool as a year and a day. So I started my year and a day studies. I was using a book called The Inner Temple of Witchcraft. I started in this book group that, you know, I actually still have some friends that I made from there. Hey, Julie. And we really just went down this road of like learning ourselves and learning our craft together. And it was a very cool experience for me. And once that group sort of dissipated, I continued on my studies until I finished the book. And at a year and a day, I had the most amazing thing, because at that point, like, you know, a lot of different witchcraft books will tell you that you can be initiated. You can self-initiate yourself as a witch. And like, once you've studied for a year and a day, you're a real witch. You're a real witch if you're a real witch. But once you've studied for a year and a day, that's kind of like a graduation of sorts. Well, I am lucky enough to have a mom who's a witch. So my mom did my initiation, and gosh, I wish I had footage. It was the coolest thing. We were both dressed in cool robes. My mom had her robe from like forever. She gave me a bunch of magical tools as a graduation gift. She also gave me the scroll to write my intentions in. And I think that the really important part of, you know, becoming a witch, a really important part of becoming the kind of person that you want to be, of going on a truth-seeking journey, a spiritual journey, a magical journey, is to figure out what it means to you. Intention is always the most important thing. And any kind of like spell work and any kind of, you know, divination, intention, you got to have that intention. And so another thing that I learned from one of my other mentors over the years of study that I did after this was that you should also write your own ethics, because you need some sort of guidebook to follow. And how can you do that, you know, if you don't forge your own path? So I wrote this when I was a wee little baby witch, probably about 11 years ago. I think it's so cute. And I'm just going to read it to y'all. My magical name then was quite different. I wasn't going by Rain, but weirdly enough, my name before I changed it was Renee. And because I'm non-binary and it just didn't fit anymore. But I had my name, my witchcraft name, being Wren, like W-R-E-N, like the bird. I feel very connected to that bird, so it made sense to me at the time. But Wren, Rain, it's all, you know, magical names change over time. You know, we're all a work in progress. But I'm going to read y'all my intentions, because how cute. Little baby witch. Little Wren. My intention is to be a truth seeker, a magic user, one who respects and works with nature, to be a witch. Learning ancient wisdom and using my own creativity and intuition to guide me down this path. Therefore, I, Wren, ask in the name of the goddess and the god for aid in my studies of witchcraft. I intend to complete this work successfully, following the plan for a year and a day, and to become a true witch if it is correct and for my highest good. A true witch. That's me. I ask to be open to all experiences, receptive to new truths, and to understand all lessons given to me. Goddess, grant me wisdom by the power of the moon. God, grant me strength by the power of the sun. So mote it be. So when this started over a decade ago, I was a wee little baby witch. And I wrote this intention at the beginning of that book that I started, that year and a day. And at my graduation, I opened it up and read the intention. And my mom did a cool little ceremony for me and initiated me. And that's a pretty cool experience that most people don't get to have their mom initiate them as a witch. So that was pretty dope. And yeah, I never thought that it would lead me here necessarily to content creation of, you know, reading other people's cards and doing all of this, but it makes sense. And I feel like I definitely have pursued my passions in this, and I've been open and learned a lot of new things from a lot of really cool people over the years. And yeah, still using my creativity, still working in nature with the earth. You know, at that time, I didn't even have a garden. I wasn't even painting. But this is where this road has taken me, and I could not be happier. And I'm really, really happy that I get to share it with all of you.